Hola amigos, yo soy Roberto, and today we are doing shrimp taco meal prep because I'm gonna make every day next week Taco Tuesday because these shrimp tacos have mucho sabor and are gonna make you muy fuerte because they are healthy. Ancho shrimp tacos, Mexican brown dirty rice, and charred corn elote. Crazy delicious, so do me a favor and subscribe to my channel because I have new videos every Friday and I want you, my fellow food friends, to be the first one to see them. Now, let's get our tacos on. Andale! Say hola to my friend, the camarón. We are crazy about shrimps in this house and they pretty much have no fat, a ton of flavor. All you have to do is make sure you don't overcook these pretty little guys. But that ain't gonna stop me from adding even more flavor by making, wait for it, you guessed it, a spice rub. Shocking, Bobby is making a spice rub. So in front of me, I have 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika. I love that earthy, smoky flavor. To that, I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon each of cumin and ancho chili powder. And just give it a mix up, and that's it. This is like the easiest spice rub, and it's gonna pack so much flavor and no additional fat. So I have 1 pound of shrimp here, and make sure you buy them where they're already peeled and deveined. You can find them all around like that, or just ask your fish person to do it. It'll save you time in the kitchen, and meal prepping is all about saving time. Let's grab our spice rub and add it to the shrimp, and a tablespoon of orange juice. Now give these guys a big mix up with the best tools in the kitchen, my bear paws. And you can see how the spice rub is just coating the shrimp, and that's gonna impart so much flavor. So we're gonna let this sit at room temperature for 15 minutes, and we're not gonna salt it until right before we cook it, because if we salt it now, it's gonna draw too much moisture out of the shrimp. In the meantime, let's move on to our charred corn elote. In front of me, I have 2.5 cups of maize. Now this is frozen corn because corn is out of season, but it doesn't matter if you have fresh or frozen, it works perfectly. To my large cast iron pan that's preheating over medium heat, I'm gonna drizzle in about 1 tablespoon or 2 of olive oil. Now you want the pan to be pretty hot because all we're trying to do is char this corn. And it should maybe look like the corn kernels are doing the salsa. See what I mean? That's music to my ears, my friend. I would do the salsa right now to celebrate, but no one wants to see that, trust me. So all I'm gonna do is spread this in 1 single layer so it gets maximum contact with the bottom of the pan. And we're gonna cook it for about 7 to 10 minutes until it's nice and charred, stirring it occasionally. Check out the corn, it has some nice color on it. Now for the last minute of the cooking process, I'm gonna add a couple tablespoons of fresh red onions and 1 garlic clove that I finely minced. Then I'm gonna grab one of my red hot chili peppers, what I got, you got to give it to your mama, and do a fine slice on this one and add that to the pan. I'm gonna cook this for 1 more minute just to get that raw kind of flavor out of the garlic and red onions. But now is the time to season it with about 1/2 teaspoon of salt and give it a mix up. You could already tell this is gonna be good just by the colors. Let's grab my pan here and transfer the mixture to a bowl. Normally when you think of an elote or a loaded Mexican corn on the cob, it's smothered in cheese and mayo and lime juice. We're gonna do a slightly healthier version. So to the bowl, I'm gonna add about 1 tablespoon of mayo, and I'm using low-fat mayo, and don't worry, I'm not adding any cheese, so we're still keeping this healthy, but if you're feeling indulgent, you can always add as much queso fresco as you want. And the juice of 1/2 lime, 1/4 teaspoon each of smoked paprika and chili powder, and then some fresh parsley. Just give it a good mix up. Let the residual heat from the corn kind of melt the mayo. It starts getting really creamy, colorful, and that looks awesome. And then I'm all about quality control in the kitchen, so I have to taste this. The corn is popping, it's charred and smoky, crunchy red onions, creamy mayo. This is so good. I should have made a double, maybe a triple batch because I can go through this in 1 serving, but I will make it last. It is shrimp making time, and I've been keeping these guys marinating cold in the fridge. You wanna keep them cold until right before you cook them. I have the same cast iron pan preheating over medium-high heat. I'm gonna drizzle in about 1 tablespoon of oil. Now shrimp are incredibly easy to overcook. Like I said, there's basically no fat in here. So with a hot pan, I'm literally talking 2 minutes max each side. If your pan is preheated properly, you're gonna hear this sound. Now that is the sound of a happy shrimp, or maybe a happy Bobby. Now notice, I'm only doing 1/2 of these at one time. If I put all these in here at one time, I'm gonna overcrowd the pan and they're gonna boil in their own juices and they won't get crusty. So do this batch, evacuate the dance floor, and then finish them up. Let's flip the shrimp. It's only been 1.5 minutes on this side, but they are definitely ready. All right, the second side only took literally 1 minute. So I'm gonna dump all these out at one time to stop the cooking process. Look at all that deliciousness, the crust from the spice rub. That looks great. And if you guys don't like shrimp or you're allergic and your face blows up like a balloon, you can totally sub out chicken or steak for this recipe. Use the same exact spice rub and you are hooked up. If you guys want to see my ground beef taco recipe, which is seriouslybomb.com, check out this video at the end of this one. It is totally gonna hook you up and it is the best ground beef taco ever. Now, while I'm getting the second batch of shrimp in the pan, I did mention something about Mexican brown dirty rice with black beans, red peppers. It's really healthy, really easy to make, and we better make it quick because I'm getting hungry. This is how you do it. Add some red onions and red bell peppers to a pot, along with a pinch of salt and a few cracks of pepper, and cook it for 7 minutes. Now add 3 cloves of garlic that are finely minced, and the same spice rub we used earlier on the shrimps. Cook that for 2 minutes, and then add 1 cup of brown rice and cook that for 1 minute. Go in with 1 can of black beans and 2 cups of water. Season that with more salt, bring it to a simmer, and slap on the lid for 40 minutes. When the rice is ready, add a big handful of fresh herbs and fluff it with a fork, and it's all done. Let's try the rice. You guys, so much flavor thanks to the spice rub. The beans are high in fiber and protein, and the brown rice is more nutritious than white because it has the outer husk still on there. This is money. Now, all I'm doing is pinching the tails off of the shrimp because there's sweet, sweet meat in there. Check that out. You don't want to leave it in there. The taco bar is open, so let us build our meal prep containers for the week. I'm gonna grab a bunch of shrimpies, then grab some rice, and then some elote. Now, before I build the rest of my meal prep containers, I want to share with you something my abuela told me back over here by the stove. She said, "Mijo, you need to toast the tortilla over the open fuego for 10 to 20 seconds per side." And what that does is make it nice and charred and smoky, and it makes it pliable. And when I'm talking about my abuela, I'm of course talking about something I probably picked up watching a telenovela on TV, but hey, que bueno. And my 5 shrimp taco meal prep containers are done. And since I probably toasted a tortilla, I should make a sample taco just to make sure everything's a-okay. So let's put a little bit of rice as the base, and then hit it up with a few shrimps, and then top it with some of that creamy charred elote. And since we're huge taco fans, I always have some accoutrement on hand. I'm gonna hit it up with a little bit of pickled jalapeno, a few diced tomatoes, and some of these red onions I have. Now look at that, y'all. Salud. You guys, there is serious sabor going here, and I'm not just saying that because I'm so hungry right now. The shrimps are juicy, the elote is creamy and charred, and that rice is nutty. Beans are creamy. This is so good. I probably wouldn't toast the tortilla or char the tortilla until right before you want to eat it, but this will hook me up every day next week, and I wanted to hook up you also. The recipe is below in the description box. Check it out. Also, leave a comment below and tell me what other meal prep recipes I should make. Make sure you also subscribe for new videos every Friday morning. I have some more meal prep recipes below me. Check them out, but I will see you next week. I have a date with the shrimp taco, so I'll say to you what I always do. Keep on cooking. Later.